Hello, sweet friends. Okay, I have finally made it back in here in the kitchen tonight. It has just been crazy. We've been busy. A lot's been going on, but let me run through this real quick and show you what I've already done here and what we're going to do, okay? So I have some little boneless pork chops here. I've already seared those up. I have the second batch in the skillet right now. I'm searing those up. These are those really good ones that I tell y'all about all the time that are so good and tender. I love them. But now you can use a bone-in pork chop too. I love a bone-in pork chop and I use those a lot. But I love to grab these because they're always on, they're always such a good price, okay? So let's see where we're at on these. Like I said, this is our second little batch. Ooh, they got hot. I'll flip these around. And all I did with these, y'all, I seasoned them up with a little bit of my buttery, I think it's called buttery steakhouse Kinder's seasoning, and a little bit of pepper. You don't need much at all. You could even just do these with just a little salt and pepper, maybe a little bit of garlic. You don't need much at all because we're going to make a delicious sour cream gravy to go with these. And y'all, I made these way back whenever, what is that on my phone there? I get distracted easy, y'all. But I made these way back whenever I first started this page, and I got a lot of good feedback on them. And I've not made them since. And so I thought, that's what I want to make tonight. I had this pack in the fridge that I needed to use. I was first going to grill them, and then I thought, no, I'm going to do that sour cream gravy pork chop recipe. They're delicious. Y'all will love them. Very few ingredients and very easy. And they go so well with mashed potatoes, which is what I'm going to make with them tonight. Or you could do some rice. You could do some noodles. Whatever you want to do. But you want to do something like that because you like to have something with that gravy. You know what I mean? So they're really good, y'all. You'll love them. And don't let the sour cream part scare you off if you don't love sour cream, because neither one of my boys ever loved sour cream or claimed that they didn't, but they loved this pork chop recipe. I mean, loved it. We all did. Whenever I first made it, I had found the recipe somewhere and I kind of tweaked it and changed it up to make it my own. Y'all know, like we do. And we love it. It's really, really good. And like I said, it's one of those things you can make up, toss it in the oven, and it does its own thing while you cook your other stuff. So let me finish up searing these pork chops, y'all. And I'll come back. We'll make up our little sour cream gravy to go over it. We'll talk about the browse a little bit, do a little bit of beauty talk, and we'll get on our way with our delicious recipes. Okay, y'all, let's get to making our gravy. As you can see here, I just have all of our pork chops seared up and just kind of laid in there, layered up just a little bit, the best we could get it in there. And now we're going to start our gravy. So, of course, we've got our skillet here. I moved it over here so y'all can see a little bit better. Now let's put in about a tablespoon of butter. Give us a little bit more liquid to cook in and make our gravy. We're going to cook this around. So we're just going to glaze that skillet really, really good. Y'all, if you didn't see this recipe whenever I made it before and tried it, I want y'all to try it. I'm telling you what, you'll love it. And like I said, even if you're not a huge fan of sour cream, it's really, really good. Take my word for it, okay? Unless you just despise it. I know if you do, then you're probably not going to like it. But now I have some onion here. This is just about one medium onion. And you know what else? I think probably some mushrooms would be good in this dish too. I just never put any in there because neither one of my boys liked them whenever I first started making this. So I've just been making it this way. But I think if you wanted to, you could add some mushrooms. It'd be good. All right, we're just going to let those onions saute around for just a minute, y'all. I have some broth back here. We're going to toss in a little bit of flour, a few other things, and pop these in the oven. And I'll be back. Okay, y'all, our onions are sauteing up really good. Get me out a different spoon here. Now we're going to sprinkle a little bit of flour in. Y'all know I don't like to do a lot of flour. You can do more if you choose to. I'm only going to do maybe about half a tablespoon or so. We'll see. This is about a tablespoon in this little cup here, but I don't think I'm going to add all of it. So I've got about that much left. Just sprinkle you in some flour, y'all. Y'all know how I am about flour. Alright, we're going to mix that around really good. Let that flour cook out for a second. Y'all see this on my finger here? Goodness gracious. I was making me some tuna salad, and I wasn't even chopping anything whenever this cut happened. I was actually, you know how celery has those little like strings on it? Well, I pulled those strings off, and I wasn't paying attention, and I was trying to just throw them down in the garbage can, and somehow I come around and hit the edge of my finger on that knife, and y'all, it's a small cut, but it was a deep cut. And you talk about sore. This thing is just crazy sore. Which I do keep my knives very, very sharp. I do like a sharp knife, but I tell you what, woo, I knew it when it happened. It happened, and it was a cut, I'll tell you. Okay, so we've got that in there. Now I am just going to put in some of our beef broth. I have about 2 cups here. I don't know how much we're going to use. I just made this with my little bouillon cubes. Y'all know how I do. Start mixing that in. A little bit more. Let's see. That's probably about a cup that we're at right now. We're going to need more than that because I have quite a bit of pork chops. So just remember, you can always do less if you're making, just say if you're only cooking about 4 pork chops or so, you could probably get away with about 1 cup of broth, but I think we'll just go ahead and do this whole thing. You know that? Might as well. I've done made it. Might as well use it. Okay? So that's 2 cups of broth that we put in there. I'm going to let that cook around, and then of course I'm going to hit it with a little bit of my W sauce. Just a few sprinkles like that. I'm not going to put any salt because of our beef broth, and I did use that seasoning on our pork chops that had a little bit of salt in it. So as long as you got them salted, you don't need to add no salt to this. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. And that's going to be our only other seasoning. I mean, like I said, this is very simple. We're going to add our sour cream here in just a minute. But aside from that, it's a very, very easy and delicious little gravy to go on your pork chops. What are you doing?
None.
Braden just came home, y'all. You grilling you a steak tonight?
I sure am.
Goodness. Alright, y'all, I'm just going to let this cook up here for just a second, and then I'll come back and we're going to put our sour cream in, and that's the last step. Okay, y'all, let's add our sour cream in. I meant to grab some at the grocery that I could just scoop out because I think it's a little bit easier than using this, but I forgot, so we're going to make do with this. I'm thinking we're going to do about 1/3 of a cup or so. Let's see. It's harder for me to measure out of something like that. That's why I wanted to buy the little bowl container, but anyway, we'll make it work. That's probably good. Yeah, I would just say for this amount, like I said, I have this whole 9x13 here full of pork chops. As you can see, they're the little boneless, so you know the bone in will take up more space, but that was about 1/3 of a cup, if I'm guessing right. Yeah, y'all know how my guesses are. Okay, I think we're going to leave it at that. I am going to bring this over here. Let's see if that's cooled off. And we're just going to, I hope y'all can see, I'm just going to pour this over our pork chops. And like I said, now you can do more gravy, but it is going to thicken up a little bit. Let me back this up. I sure don't want to sit that on that burner. I did that one time, and I had one that broke all to pieces. You cannot sit these on your burner for sure. Not even on a low temperature. That's how I learned. It was terrible. Okay, so we got that, and now the rest of that little bit of, I had a half a stick of butter here that I put in there to saute up our stuff. We're going to just slice the rest of that up over the top, y'all. I have my oven on 350. I can't remember if I told y'all that. I'm going to cover this in foil, and I'm going to cook these for about a good hour. Just let them slow cook, y'all, and they will be so tender, falling apart. And then what I will do, after I cook them for about that hour, I will take the foil off and probably put them on broil for a few minutes just to get that top nice and brown. So let me get these covered, get these in the oven, and then we're going to talk for a minute. Hey y'all, just real quick here, let me show you our pork chops. They've been in the oven on 350 for 1 hour. They already look so good, but what I'm going to do now, I took the foil off. I had them covered for that 1 hour. I think I'm going to get me a spoon and kind of baste the top of them, but I'm going to put them back in the oven on broil just to give them that good, pretty color. Y'all know how I like to do that. I have my potatoes over here that I'm going to mash up. And we're going to have us a nice little meal, y'all. I like to let these rest for a second, so that's why I kind of waited before I started my potatoes. But it'll all kind of come together pretty good. So I'm going to wait just a second before I put these back in the oven. I ain't got it on yet. I got to get it good and hot on broil. I have my butter back here melting for the mashed potatoes. And I'll be back in a minute, y'all, and I'm going to show you what these delicious pork chops look like. Y'all, I cannot wait to have these because I love these, and I've not had them in so long. Y'all are going to love these too. You're going to want to make it. Okay, y'all, our pork chops, our potatoes, everything is good and done. So let's see, where do we want to start? So what I did, y'all, you know, I showed you after I got them out of the oven, I cooked them on 350 for 1 hour covered. And then I took the cover off and put them back in the oven on broil for, I don't know how long, maybe 10 minutes or so, just enough to get that pretty color. Y'all know I love that pretty color on top. It kind of helps thicken up that gravy a little bit. And then after I got them out, I just put that foil back over them so they could just sit here and rest while I was making our mashed potatoes, okay? So let's get us out some. Let's see here. Let's start with some good creamy, y'all see them here, just some good creamy mashed potatoes. Y'all know this is old pan is my mashed potato pan. I love it. I cook them in it, and I use my mixer when I make this kind of mashed potatoes and mix them up really good, and I love it just because it works for all of it. Get that off the side there. You'll see just some good creamy mashed potatoes, and then I'm gonna get us out one of these pork chop, y'all, and they will fall apart on you. I'm telling you, they're so good. You're gonna want to make these, I promise you. And they're so easy. Like I said, just a few ingredients. I didn't even make any. Normally when I make this dish, I'll do like some green beans or something like that. I didn't even do none of that tonight, y'all. I just did the mashed potatoes. Let me get a few of those onions. Let's see. Get a few off of this one here. There we go. Okay. Y'all will love these. Look at that. When I tell you these are good, y'all, you take my word for it. And like I said, even if you're not crazy about sour cream, you'll still love these. Unless it's just something that you just despise, of course. But if it's just something that you're not crazy about eating, like just say by itself or on a taco or something like that, but you're okay with it being in like recipes, you'll love these. I'm telling you. And they just pull apart. You don't even need a knife. Look at them. And people, I know some of you will probably ask, well, cooking them that long, do they get dry? Absolutely not. They are amazing. Like that, it just pulls apart. Y'all, these are so good. I'm telling you what. You'll love them. that gravy on the mashed potatoes. Now you can do rice, like I said, or noodles or something else, but I choose to have the good mashed potatoes. Outstanding, y'all. So good. Okay, now listen. And I told you, we got some stuff to talk about. We got to talk about the brows. We got to talk about Braden moving out. Let me tell y'all what I'm going to do. I know not everybody that comes to my page cares about what I'm doing in my life or cares about hearing all this stuff, you know, that I always communicate with y'all, because y'all are like my friends and I love communicating back and forth with you, but I know everybody just doesn't want to see that. They want a recipe and they want to move on. That's okay. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to shut this off, post this video for the pork chop recipe because it is a delicious one. And I will come right back, y'all, and we're going to do a video where we just talk, and we're going to talk about the brows, we're going to talk about Braden, and whatever else, okay? So don't think I'm just keeping on trying to toy with y'all. It's not nothing like that. I don't want to aggravate the people that just don't care about a brow or about whatever's going on in my life. You know what I mean. So anyway, and that way, if they don't want to watch it, they don't have to. And then they can just go on. They may not care nothing about it, and they can just go on, and that's fine too. Anyway, I'm going to, let me get this posted. and I'll come back in just a second, and we're going to talk. All right, I'll see y'all in a bit. Bye-bye.